Yeah. MD. JPB. It's only right, baby.
Yeah. Why you mad? I got a bad bro. Name hot in these streets, no Tabasco. But I'm so stuck, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Go on, run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of This, and I'm back here with another video. Sorry I haven't posted for like fucking 5 days. Finally, I got some, quiet to do what I wanted to do, which was post a video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm gonna try to record this part and the finale of what if Asta was a player. If I can't, well, too bad, but I will get it done. It will be the finale. Also, things will feel a bit rushed, but that's because if I do stretch it out, it's gonna sound like bullshit considering I've already made Asta like the most powerful person ever, so I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, yeah, let's just get into it. What if Naruto was a speedster? Part 4, a mysterious force. So last time we started off with the start of the final part of the exams. There would be no interruptions this time as Naruto beat Gaara by copying the Hyuga technique perfectly, and then Sasuke forfeited to him. Now, along with the end of the exams came the capture of Orochimaru and his subordinates. The Sand Ninja would leave in fear, and during the training break that Naruto got, he got to meet Jiraiya, and they get a little bit close. And Naruto and Konohamaru would also get close. Also, Naruto would talk to the Fox, and they fought a bit before Naruto was, kicked out. Now, after this would come up the subject of whether Naruto should be allowed to rank up. And after he comes and meets the council, he explains why he used the Hyuga technique and how. And after he explained this, he also explained his earpiece, his technology, his creations. And soon Naruto and his whole team would be made Jonin. Now after this, Naruto would show his power to Hiruzen, freaking him out as he tells Naruto not to reveal this to anyone else unless he trusts them. Naruto would then find himself in a lightning storm away from the village, and in the background he does not know that Danzo is planning something against him. Now with Naruto's unknown disappearance, 2 hours would pass as Jiraiya would then enter Hiruzen's office. "Hey old man, what happened? You look pretty conflicted." "Oh, it's nothing. I assume you're here for him?" "How in the world did you ever capture and contain him?" Slamming his hands on Hiruzen's desk, Hiruzen would then tell him that Naruto used some sort of sealing jutsu and beat him on his own. "Naruto did?" Jiraiya would be stunted to hear this. Now speaking of Naruto, he's still caught in who knows where, and he's surrounded by the lightning storm from every corner. And this would all soon disappear as he then starts to fall. And when he lands, he gets on guard thinking that somehow he was caught in a genjutsu. Were we not? Right now he was surrounded by darkness, and when this darkness would sort of speak to him, it would then disappear and he's surrounded by glowing yellow lights. Now in front of him, he would then see a formless being made out of lightning. "What is this? Who are you?" "We are the source of your power," said the mysterious being. Naruto would then lessen his guard. "What exactly is my power, and what exactly are you?" This being would then turn into Iruka-sensei, surprising Naruto. "I assume this form will comfort you more. Walk with me." The area would then transform into a different place as they're in another universe. You were granted the power of speed by us and became a Speed Force conduit. The Speed Force would then explain what speedsters are and reveal the existence of the multiverse. And this kind of breaks Naruto for a bit because this is all just too much to handle. Now as the Speed Force senses this, they would then recreate what looks like Naruto's house, and he would then fall on his bed sitting on it. "Is that why I have all this knowledge in my head? I know things I feel like I shouldn't know, but I try to repress it and just suppress all of it." The Speed Force would then sit down saying, "Using your power makes your brain faster than any other in your world. This would make you a genius. That's why you always anticipate what people can be like and how they will react to certain things." Then why am I here? Have I broken a rule or something?" "Naruto, what you have done is what you've always had to do. Killing others, I wouldn't say it isn't a crime, it's just a necessity. It's the way you survive. We know how kind you are. We called you here because you're getting faster." Naruto would then stand up. "What about it? Isn't that a good thing?" "It is, but the next time you run, you may end up seeing something that will change your outlook on your entire world. Being a speedster means you have the ability to also travel through time, breaking the time barrier, and going to another time period. With your current capabilities, you could do it easily if you just tried, but I urge that if you ever do not disturb the timeline. It will have dire consequences. We will have no choice but to..." "But to what?" "You're a warrior in your world. You know what happens when one breaks the rules." Naruto would then be pulled away by something as he just opens his eyes and finds himself being flung into the Hokage monument. Quickly kicking towards the faces, he switches his position in the air a bit and manages to run down safely into the streets of Konoha. People would then see him arrive and start cheering a bit. Thank you, thank you. What the hell? Now lunging forward, he would then run home as we cut to the next day and nothing relatively important really happens. Naruto would have the day off, so he was spending it training like he usually does. Now all while he does this, he keeps thinking about what the Speed Force said. I could go back and I could save them. Now, while he was thinking this, he'd be fighting a clone, and since the clone is as fast as he is, this training is very productive. Now, as he's fighting though, he would send something around, and so he stops fighting, and he makes his clone disappear. Alright, come out you three. Out from the forest, near the training grounds, would come out Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi. Okay, you're definitely supposed to... He would then be caught up by Konohamaru, who says, see, I told you he was awesome, didn't I? Udon would then say, yeah, he's so fast. Aren't you tired? I can see why you look up to him, says Moegi. Konohamaru would then panic, saying that's not what he thought. You know, that's not what he brought them here for. And they would all then see Naruto instantly appear in front of them, scaring them all. Why aren't you at school? Why aren't you? Asked Konohamaru. I graduated years ago. Besides, I'm a jonin. Why would I still be in school? Oh, yeah, the vest, says Moegi. Can you show us your best jutsu, please? Insisting on it, with Naruto having no choice. But the deal was if he showed them an awesome jutsu, they would let him take them back to school. The three would then gather up and sit down as Naruto would clap his hands together and start spinning, instantly creating a giant tornado. What the heck is that? Yelled Udon. The tornado would then get smaller and smaller as the three then see Naruto in the middle of it, taking all this wind into his right hand, and his hand also spreads out electricity. Lightning style, raging storm. Slamming his hand into the ground and turning to face the river that's in the training grounds, Naruto's jutsu would rip up the ground entirely, leading up to the river, and he splits it apart for a moment as the three would then see the water rise so high that some of it comes their way, and it spilled on them as it felt like it started to rain or something. Naruto destroyed the other half of the training grounds completely, and he turns around saying, now can I take you back to class? The three would then nod in unison with their mouths wide open. In an instant, the three would find themselves at recess as all the kids in the playing grounds just saw them arrive with a streak of lightning, which then left. Iruka saw this from afar in his classroom and he smiled, thinking, I missed that. So as Naruto goes back to the training ground, he realizes how much of a mess he's caused, and he pulls out a scroll and starts reciting some time language, or I guess you could say the language of the Speed Force. He then slams his hand on the scroll while laying it on the ground and reversing the land back to how it used to be before he destroyed it. The Speed Force told me all speedsters at least had one special ability. I guess mine are time jutsus. So he then puts away the scroll and decides that that's quite enough for today. Now after this week would pass, Team 7 and the other teams start doing missions again. Now as Jonin, they were a Jonin team, they were given A-rank missions daily and completed them all. Naruto and Kakashi carried Shikamaru and Sasuke until they became able to handle themselves, and luckily Naruto can not only heal and kill people in an instant, but he can also cook, and so yeah, they were pretty fine. Konohamaru and his friends came back and kept bothering Naruto, and it kind of led to him teaching them a bit in his spare time. One day Team 7 would just be walking around to go eat something because Naruto's metabolism demands it, and Shikamaru would then say, I know we get paid pretty good, but please don't waste all your money on meat. Sasuke would then say, truth be told, I'd rather spar, but this works too. By the way, weren't you gonna make some new invention? These earpieces are honestly pretty awesome, but I wonder what you're gonna make next. So Naruto inventions were spread all over to like the ninjas of Konoha, and Hiruzen and Naruto had both agreed not to reveal that he made them yet. But he will reveal it soon. But these earpieces were made so that you could always be in contact with the team no matter what, and they're practically indestructible considering how Naruto made them. They could be the ultimate political weapon, so only high-ranked teams are trusted, and high-ranked Jonins are trusted with them. And the use of the earpieces kind of became a trend among shinobi. So as they walked around, they would stop at a pub and sit outside around a table that's just laid out for a customer who wanted to enjoy the fresh air while eating. The team would then sit down and order something as Naruto pops his yellow pill in to help him with his metabolism. Soon their food would come in and they start eating, and they would then notice two men wearing strange robes appear. Naruto, knowing that that's the Akatsuki, would then signal to his team as they had been prepared to deal with them for a long time now. Now, at this time, Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma would then arrive to see the team eating, and as they do, they notice something is obviously clearly wrong, and then Naruto signals all of them, and yeah, they're kind of knowing what's going on now. In an instant before anyone can even notice, all these people would then just disappear. as Naruto then ran everyone outside the village and they would all be standing in the forest. How is this possible? A trap, thought Kisame? Itachi would then take off his hat. I guess there's no longer any point in hiding. Kisame would then follow Itachi's lead. So this is the Akatsuki, says Shikamaru? Itachi. Sasuke would then activate his two Tomoe, and Naruto would then get in front of him and stops him. Not now, Sasuke. You'll have your chance, but he and I have to have a little talk. Before Sasuke could even ask what he means, both Naruto and Itachi would be gone, making him mad, but Kisame then attacks with Samehara, and now those 6 are fighting him. Itachi would then find himself in a new location, as in front of him stood Naruto. Let's have that talk, shall we? Itachi would then activate his Sharingan and try to put Naruto in a Genjutsu, but it doesn't work, surprising him. Naruto Uzumaki, you know I'm here to hunt you, yet you're here alone. Trust me. Naruto would then instantly appear, walking past him. You can't beat me. But that's not the point. How's the mission going? I don't know what you mean, says Itachi. I know about your secret mission for the village. I did some research. You're an awesome older brother, you know that? Naruto would then step back, with Itachi starting to trust him a little bit. Can you prove that you are who you are? Naruto would then have his arms wide open, telling Itachi and kind of signaling to him that he can use any genjutsu he wants to find out the truth, because he trusts that Itachi will not actually kill him. And Itachi does so as he sees Naruto, just on the day that he actually massacred the clan. Naruto was actually there. He sees Naruto investigating everything and finding out the truth about the downfall of the Uchiha. Now, as Itachi stops the genjutsu, he opens his eyes and says, "Thank you for not telling him. I know how hard it must have been." Naruto would then say, "Don't sweat it. He'll find out eventually, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to heal your sickness. Take this." He hands Itachi a jar full of pills he made. These will help your disease go away little by little, but before that, I need to perform a little treatment. How is this possible? I've looked for help everywhere. You can really cure me? It will be a cold day in hell before I let Sasuke lose someone else. You found yourself a good friend, thinks Itachi. So Naruto would then do his treatment, healing Itachi with his lightning, and this would help heal his lungs. And now all he had to do was just take the medicine, and in a few weeks he was going to be fine. Itachi would already feel his breathing getting better, and Naruto told him to take one pill right now. As Itachi did this, he would then smile, thanking Naruto, who would then say, "Now you know what we gotta do, right? I won't resent you, just go easy on me, alright," says Itachi. We then cut back to the others fighting Kisame, as Shikamaru, staying back, would then use his shadow and tries to bind Kisame. He misses, however, but Sasuke jumps off his shadow string and lunges at Kisame. He makes a giant fireball jutsu and launches it at Kisame. However, he uses Samehara to absorb the chakra, making the jutsu useless. Small fries, all of you. I bet your little friend is having even worse than you are. I wouldn't be so sure about that, says Naruto, as he then appears on the scene dragging a beaten up Itachi. Who the hell? No one can beat him that easily. Naruto then instantly appears by Kisame, activating his sealing jutsu, as Kisame and Samehara both become paralyzed, falling to the ground like dolls. By this point, Sasuke would be walking up to Itachi as he grabbed him by the collar, making a Chidori. I wasn't strong enough, huh? Well, I've got you now, so who's the loser? Still you, foolish little brother. We then poof into a log as he is gone, leaving Kisame behind. Itachi, you son of a bitch! Sasuke would then just be in a rage, and he would slam the Chidori into the ground, cracking it, as Naruto would look back at him saying, I'm sorry, but you have to bear with it for now. So Kisame would then be taken in and interrogated by Ibiki. Meanwhile, Naruto would be home designing something new to make when he would hear a knock. It was night and he opens up to see Hiruzen and Shikaku. What's up? What do you guys need? Shikamaru told me you were making designs for something. Naruto would then facepalm. Ah, you loudmouth. Yes, I do have something. Something that's gonna make ninjas way stronger than ever. But I'm gonna need a few things. Hiruzen would then ask, can we see the design? And Naruto would then let them in, and when they look to the side, they see a huge scroll kind of up on his wall, and on it would be a design for a weapon. All sorts of weapon, actually. Quite interesting, says Shikaku. The circuitry is quite different from the one you used before. Naruto would then say, I also plan to put scrolls in the weapons to help. You'll see how it looks when it's finished, but first, you gotta make me a smithy. Hiruzen and Shikaku would then look at each other as you have a little montage of Shinobi just helping build the smithy for Naruto. And everyone pitches in, even Teuchi and Ayame pitch in, people that know Naruto. And it would take about 4 days to make this place thanks to Naruto's super speed and the fact that he already had a design for the place because, genius. So we then cut to Asuma and Iruka walking into the smithy, and they can hear the sounds of metal just, clanging. They then enter to see Naruto taking out a sword from the water. He just like tempered it. He put it in the water. He turned it into an actual sword. And he had just spent an hour tempering it, getting the sword just right, and it's actually really freaking sharp. He then turns around and sees the two men. Hey, what's up, guys? This is the first time when Iruka and Asuma see how ripped Naruto is for a kid. Nothing like working up a good sweat, am I right? Says Asuma. Naruto would then say, yep, just finishing the first sword. Now it's really time to get to work. He then walks over and lays his sword on a work table as Iruka and Asuma then look over his shoulder to see that he has laid down a bunch of little gadgets that all of a sudden will be bonded to the sword. How did you do that? Asked Iruka. I just put it together. Naruto would then take a sealing scroll out of one of his cabinets, and he received these from Ryuzen first of all, and they're made specifically to release one type of element, and this one released fire, but only once. It can only do it once. But Naruto uses a time sealing jutsu on it and made it impossible to be ripped, burned, and it will always reform, and it can be used every time. Every time you use it, it just reverts back to how it was every time. And he phased the scroll into the sword. Alright, for now I can take a little break. What are you guys here for? Yuki would then say, Lord Hiruzen told us to check up on you and see how you were doing, but he also said that if you had free time, you should come by. Naruto then tilted his head, wondering why. A few hours later, we then go to Naruto arriving in front of Hiruzen in his Anbu getup. I have a little gift for you. He allows Naruto to, stand up and stop bowing, as Hiruzen then gives Naruto a scroll and he tells him to open it. When Naruto reads the scroll, he finds out that it's the Flying Raijin Jutsu. Oh, awesome! But why are you giving this to me? Since you've gotten strong enough, I think it's finally time for you to know that, Minato Namikaze is your father. You don't seem surprised. Naruto would then smile, saying, I was just waiting for you to admit it. This would stunt the old Kage. Since when did you know? When I left the academy. Plus, he and I are pretty identical. Well, minus the whiskers. Hiruzen would then say, huh, I just can't hide anything from you, can I? Anyway, I'm handing you the jutsu. Your father left it to me. Feel free to experiment. Naruto would then bow and also say that he has a gift for Hiruzen as he pulls out the first and finished technologically advanced chakra blade. Now, as Naruto holds the blade, it would shine red as it erupts with fire, which then dies down. The blade is just steaming with heat, but it's not actually burning. It's not actually melting or anything. Let's go outside. I'll show you how it works. Naruto would then run to the training grounds, arriving instantly with Hiruzen. Hiruzen would then ask how it's maintaining heat even though Naruto is barely even trying, and how is the flame so hot. Naruto then explains that he put a scroll inside it which released fire, and using his healing jutsu, the tech maintains that fire, and the metal for the blade is pretty resistant to high temperatures in all natures. You just need to use a bit of chakra, and for example, you can do this. Naruto raises the sword and lights it up as he strikes down, and out of it will come out a huge and giant fire wave, which then cuts the river in half as it keeps going further down and further, and the water just remains split for a while due to the pressure of the attack. The attack then goes for like miles and miles away, passing the river and hitting a nearby mountain. Naruto would look back, smiling to see a wide-eyed Hiruzen who cannot believe what he just saw, and it depends on how you use your chakra. Hiruzen would nod and would be handed the blade as Naruto just tells him to try something out, like anything. Now as Hiruzen grabs the sword and holds it tight, he thinks of something and thrusts forward while flowing his chakra into the sword, and as he does, fire just bursts out, shooting like a torpedo, and it is very direct, as it also goes into the same mountain that Naruto hit, and it looked really destructive. He is right, this could be considered the ultimate weapon, and he says he can make things even better than this? He then looks at Naruto. Minato, your child has no limits. So Hiruzen says that he's gonna show this to the council, and for now Naruto has a lot of free time considering how many missions he actually does on a daily. Like, if I could tell you how many missions he does, it would be crazy. He does more than 1,000 missions a fucking week because of his super speed. It's insane. I'm not even joking. That's how much Hiruzen makes him work, because Naruto just does that shit whenever he wants, and it's pretty easy for him. So, yeah. The next day would just consist of Naruto getting Sasuke and Shikamaru and Choji for a training session once again, since they enjoyed it so much last time. No, they didn't. So the four would be at the training grounds as they had just arrived, and Shikamaru would ask, why can't you just let me sleep? Because you're joining now, you can't afford to be lazy. Hey Sasuke, you good, buddy? They would then all look to Sasuke, who had bags and dark circles under his eyes, and Naruto would then walk to him and heal him using his lightning. Trust me, Sasuke, this is gonna help you. So, today, no clones. I'm gonna show you guys what life's like in the fast lane. They'll be confused by this, but then Naruto tells them to close their eyes and to start circulating their chakras and keep circulating the chakra no matter what. Now as they do so, Naruto would then weave hand signs and shoot out lightning from his hands, hitting the three, and instantly they feel a shock just hit their body, but it feels good. They would then all open their eyes by Naruto's instructions, and this is when Sasuke would say, what is this? Guys, look up. Shikamaru and Choji would then see a flock of birds flying over, but they're flying in slow motion. What is this? Asked Shikamaru. Naruto would then say, I made this jutsu so I could share my speed with you without it almost killing you. You guys are accessing about 3% of my full speed, but you have to keep your chakra running through your body when you do anything. Sasuke would then punch, and as he does, he sees the shock wave that he causes, but it goes in slow motion, even though it looks pretty powerful. Shikamaru just feels stronger, as does Choji, and Shikamaru would then say, but wait, your speed is like a natural thing, you run and you're fast. Don't tell me you can manipulate time or something. That's crazy. I'll tell you about it later, but for now, says Naruto, he then releases the jutsu and they slip and just slam down, making craters. And Naruto would then help him up, saying that if they can master this, they can make this a really powerful combo move. I wish Ino and Sakura could join us, says Shoji. Just bring them next time, says Naruto. Now as he says this, we would hear Lee shouting Naruto's name as he appears with a kick, but Naruto would just stand there unmoving. Naruto would then be kicked straight in the face as Lee would then front flip off of this and land, and he then turns back to see Team 7 and Choji worried over Naruto. However, they then realize that Naruto isn't even bruised. I felt myself getting slower for some reason. What did he do, thinks Lee. Naruto would then say, so, I guess you wanna spar now, huh? Indeed, I fully recuperated. How is he unscathed? If that was me, my head would have been sent flying, thinks Sasuke. Naruto would then say, give me a moment, guys. Maybe Lee can train with us, but only after we spar. Lee would then get on guard as sweat just drops off his cheek because he knows this shit is about to be hard. He then lunged at Naruto and they start fighting all over the place with the others not being able to keep up. Shikamaru would then say, damn, Lee's got some serious skills. Sasuke would then say, yeah, but Lee would then be sent flying past them and into the forest as they turn around to see a bunch of destroyed trees and a knocked out Lee whose eyes are spinning like crazy. Naruto would then gracefully land down and Shikamaru would say, yeah, he's never gonna win. They then all go check on Lee, including Naruto, because he was actually really worried and he punched too hard. And now we're going to do a time skip. A 3-year time skip. We then see Naruto and Jiraiya at Mount Miyaboku. Naruto would be watching from below as Jiraiya was balancing himself on a spike with the board below him. Naruto had already mastered Sage Mode at this point, like perfectly, and Jiraiya is also taking the time to master his Sage Mode. And finally, once and for all, Jiraiya would then open his eyes, showing marks around his eyes, but he has not gained any more frog features, nothing else. Pato would then walk up from behind Naruto. It's about dang time, Jiraiya boy. Jiraiya would then jump down as he lands and he and Naruto would hug. Thanks for being here with me when I did this. No problem, you deserve some time for yourself. So, how's it feel? Jiraiya would then just say he feels complete, and that's the only way he can describe it. Pato would then jump on Naruto's shoulder saying, then I guess you'll be going back. The two would then nod as we cut to Naruto reverse summoning them to Konoha the next day. Now as the two poof, they would then arrive in the forest and they move a bit forward when they would reach the gates. One of the guards named Kotetsu would then see the two and wave at them, as would Izumo, and he would allow them in. Kotetsu would then say, things have been pretty quiet without you, Naruto. Well, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Jiraiya and Naruto would then move further into Konoha as the first person they meet is Lee, who would stand atop a light post, and he waves down at Naruto, and then he lands down and hugs him. Did you succeed? Naruto would then put up a peace sign saying he mastered Sage Mode and he came up with some new time jutsus. Naruto also notices that Lee is wearing a joining vest and congratulates him. By the way, says Lee, Lord Hiruzen said that you should come to his office as soon as you arrive. Naruto would then say okay as he grabs Jiraiya and Lee, and they leave and just arrive in front of Hiruzen, who gets surprised. I kind of missed that. So, you've returned, says Hiruzen. Jiraiya would then say, you didn't let Orochimaru escape, did you, old man? Hiruzen would then say, I'm not senile, just old. He's safe and in lockup thanks to your chakra cuffs. You can show me your new jutsu later, but right now I want you to come distribute the new weapons. Is there still no nations that want to ally with us? Asked Naruto. Hiruzen would then shake his head as he then stands up saying, it'll come in due time. Alright, let's go. Naruto during this year has also made more advanced chakra weapons for everyone. For example, he made chakra blades that can use the wind nature and fire nature, for now only. And it doesn't matter if your attribute isn't fire, all you need to do is just pour chakra into the sword and you will just use it. It's just that easy. There's no point in attributes, it's just how it works. There are also heat-seeking shuriken, and they also explode if you tap a button on it and then throw it. There's different features for everything. Now, using his speedster and learning ability, he improved this smithing technique by going to the land of samurai, and he's famous there because of his engineering and forging talent. However, the leader of the samurai, aka Mifune, didn't want the possibility of a war, messing with his people, so he doesn't want to ally with them. But he does respect Naruto's strength, and if things get a little bit safer, he might actually join an alliance with them. But samurai usually like to just be, neutral, so it'd be a bad idea either way, but, it's a possibility. Now, Hiruzen has called a little meeting for all ninjas, specifically the high-rank ninjas, and They gather at Naruto's workshop, and then they're allowed to pick out which weapon suits them the most, and they're also given instructions from Naruto himself, and also suggestions. Most people pick the new chakra blades due to how convenient they were, and most of them weren't really that bad at Kenjutsu, so why not? And after getting all this stuff, they were brought to the training grounds where they could practice using the weapons, and also get used to it, obviously. Also, yeah, like I said, only Jonins get the weapons, no one else, because they're more trustworthy. Now, as the Jonins are getting used to the weapons, Naruto, Lee, and Hiruzen and Jiraiya are watching, and Naruto would say, "Oh, by the way, Lee, I made this for you. When you're hurt, just put a bit of your blood on this, and it will heal you. I know the gates take a bit of a toll on you." Lee would then take it and thank Naruto, saying, "By the way, I can use the 6 gates with ease now due to your training, just like Guy. So I'll mostly be fine." By the way, what he handed Lee was a little scroll, so it just activates and heals him. Jiraiya and Hiruzen are just watching the two youngins, talk, and they just feel good to see, the kids just, getting along and being very happy. Now, after this, Naruto would then go meet up with Shikamaru, and he would then go to the Uchiha compound, and there Naruto would see Sasuke doing some push-ups. By this point, Sasuke has a 3 Tomoe and has completely mastered it, and Shikamaru is already at his dad's level as a strategist. He also developed a certain jutsu that the Nara isn't exactly used to seeing, and he calls it the Shadow Spider. "So you're finally here," says Sasuke. "So, did you make it?" Naruto then hands Sasuke a scroll as well that has a time jutsu on it. When you unlock your Mangekyo, and if you open up the scroll, it will instantly advance it. It's automatic, and it only works for you, but you have to open it at the right time, or you're just wasted. Sasuke would take the scroll, and he thinks that he can finally fight Itachi, and soon. So the three would then catch up a bit, talk about how things have been, and they also talk about the Akatsuki making moves. Now, as they say this, time would pass as night falls, and this is when the Akatsuki would attack the sand, and Gaara, as the new Kazekage, must sacrifice himself. How much stronger has Naruto gotten? Is Danzo still planning to attack him, and how? What are the other nations thinking, and will they ally with Konoha soon, perhaps? Find out in the upcoming parts. It's been me, Prince of Widdis, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Goodbye.